Hello, conlangers. Oh, why is that? Okay, so I should end this poll. All right, how are people doing? So, our poll was to choose which of these two styles we were going to use, and it turns out that people preferred this Agam style runes. So, we're going to. Why is this so huge? How do I get rid of this? Okay. Okay. So the writing system is going to end up looking something like this. These are sort of the first four that I came up with. And apologies for being late, by the way. I just had to do a quick run to pick up my daughter's glasses and then ended up being a bit late starting here. All right. Looks like not so many people here yet. So it's not a huge deal, huh? Let me just remind people that I do exist. I see Tai Mao, you're here. But anyway, so what I'm going to be doing today, we are going to go through the traditional route of starting with pictographs, um, just like I had at the start here, right? So we have a few here, and then I'm either going to go with. I had thought about just doing an alphabet. I'm thinking there are ways that I could do this as a syllabary, but it's just going to depend on how things go because the syllable structures are not too difficult. So if we had like a syllabary or an abegida, we could probably handle things. The biggest thing is we have a large number of vowels in this language, which makes things a little bit. Uh, Wait, why is this? Oh, this is just my own YouTube. It makes things a little bit difficult to deal with. So we'll have to work on that as we go. But so the ones that I have so far, Hagi, Kaga, Hage, meaning head, kaga, meaning voice, beu, meaning hoof or non-grasping foot. Um, oh my bit rate is low. I don't know how to adjust the bit rate. Yeah, I don't have. Okay, I just don't have the bit rate here. So anyway, we've got this set up here. Um, so so these are the words that I have so far. Is this hage, kaga, beu for like hoof or foot, chi'a to rise, nda for wing. Not sure if I'll use this. It depends on if there's a way that it can become useful. But nda is and jubu, jubu being thundercloud. Um, so these were just easy to. So the goal is things that are easy to depict, easy to make a picture of, and things that have the things that we have. So this could be the ch or a ha. This could be the syllable ka. This could be the syllable be. This could be the syllable chi, and this could be the syllable da. Actually, I may not go with this one. May not go with chi because I have a particular thing that I want to do with the palatals that would preclude having that, unless we just did an irregular spelling thing there. But and nda might also not make it because depends on how clusters would work out. And then ju this could be for ju again. This one might also not make it. So I think mainly just these three are the ones that are sure to actually be in there. I had just drawn up all of this just to make sure I had some ideas. Um, unless we go with like an alphabet or we have like certain a special null vowel character, something like that, then maybe this one has a room to be in. But I think the first step we need to do is to sort of map out like our syllables and see if a syllable or syllabary is feasible. Um, and that will help inform. So first thing I'm going to do is determine um, all of the possible CV syllables. Now we have 8 vowels in this language, and I probably will actually want to represent the 9 vowels of the proto language because remember this schwa moved down to the ah and created 2 different ah phonemes. One of them is a soft vowel, and then the other one is neutral with regard to vowel harmony. So that is something to consider. We need to make sure that that's going to work out properly. The other thing is the palatals. I have an idea for the palatals so that we wouldn't necessarily have symbols for these. Um, so, but we'll sort of cross that bridge when we come to it. So let me just I want to do this in Excel, or do I want to just make a table? I'll just make a table. I'm going to go right after phonology, create a new section. So, and we have somewhat complicated clusters. So that makes it a little difficult. This should probably, and if we work on, I want, so the thing is, I will come to that in a second. You, we get this. Home should be a heading 1. And then we're going to, and then this is going to be a heading 1. So we're just doing notes right now. We're just going to make a table. Okay. So across here, we're going to list all of the consonants. So we've got M, M and N. No. Did I? No, for the roaring register, I did not do. No, that's fine. I'll just go, and then put the cut up. Put the cut up. And here we've got this. Okay, this is weird. Okay. And then we can talk about all of our vowels. And I have a particular way that I will put these in, because we can talk about how this is going to work out. Yeah. Okay, we got some people here. Okay. And A1 and A2. A1 is the harmonic one. A2 is the neutral one. So we're just going with that. We'll use these modern IPA values. And then we can use this. I guess here's what I need to do is I need to quickly fill these all out. Okay. Can I not just copy a table into Excel? Right, and then what we do is we have to freeze this in place and freeze this in place. So this is all of the CV syllables that we have. And if we are to take all of this, then this is, how many is this? So this is, this is how many cells? Doesn't like tell me how many cells there are. So, well, we've got 9 times so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that means 9 times 13. So if we straight up did 9 vowels and are 12 consonants plus an extra no onset character for all of the CV syllables. This is not even taking into account that there are clusters in this language. Then we would end up with 117 syllables. That is a lot of characters to be dealing with, but it's possibly doable. I would have to break out of like a normal QWERTY keyboard. I don't think we could do it with just a regular QWERTY keyboard, mapping it onto a font. You know, I don't know how many characters are in the base ASCII offhand, but I think it's not quite that high. So that means like a basic syllabary is a little bit difficult. But one thing that I can do is, so we need to think about when was this writing system initiated and at what point were different parts of it initiated, right? So we can go down here. If we look at our sound changes, look at our sound changes. So we have our we got a fronting, we've got the palatalization rule here. I'm going to say that like the consonants got in place before the palatalization rule. Okay. But we don't have to do everything at the same time. Or, well, let's see actually, because I think those rules are out of order. I need to see what the order was here, right? So, yeah, okay. We have repalatalization happening before vowel harmony. But that ordering is not crucial, and also we could say that the vowels sort of changed before that got established, or after that got established. Like the consonants could have gotten established before all of the vowels. And what we can do here is if we say, okay, like the vowels, like the syllables themselves got pruned or something after vowel harmony occurred, then we can merge together the vowel harmony and maybe have some extra diacritic character for hard or soft vowel. And then what happens is you merge these two, you merge these two, you merge these two, you merge these two, and you end up with 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 vowels to represent, plus an extra diacritic you add on there. Then we could end up with, so it would be 5 times 13 would equal 65. That's much more manageable for a syllabary, I think. It still means we're still going to end up with some extra characters because we need that diacritic character, and we need to deal with the fact that clusters do exist in this language. So that's potentially an issue there. Now, I could ignore all of this and just go with an alphabet. Not a lot of times conlangers sort of shy away from an alphabet because it's not as exciting as somebody. Not as exciting as other things. Hi, Logan. I'm just talking about how many things we would need for a syllabary. So like, and the biggest thing I think would be, what would you choose? How would you handle our clusters if we did a syllabary? And Abagida could work. Um, the the thing with the Abagida would be like, how do I sort out like like an Abagida and an alphabet are like almost two sides of the same coin. Um, you still need um, yeah, that is one thing about it. Uh, Logan, is that so all the alphabets we know and all of the Abagidas we know trace back to Egyptian writing, and that is true. Is that like, we have this idea because of that okay, we start with consonants and then we have some way to represent vowels, but that doesn't need to be the way it works. And you have from the example of Japanese, and I think from some of the phoneticization that started to happen with Mesoamerican glyphs of syllabaries forming. So a syllabary probably will is like more common to like start happening. The thing is, like, this language doesn't lend itself that easily to a syllabary because it has so many vowels, and moderate it has some like syllable structure to it, right? So yeah, so it's because Afroasiatic has the triconsonantal roots, and thus ancient Egyptian started off with developing not ancient Egyptian, but I mean people who adopted ancient Egyptian in the Middle East for other Afroasiatic languages started off with consonant characters. Um, yeah, yeah. Another thing that I was thinking about with inspiration, it was if I can pull it up here, uh, is Bopomofo, or Juin Fuhao is what you usually would call it in Chinese, but Bopomofo is also used. Um, so it has the initials represented, um, which initials are basically onsets. There's some things that are a little different, and then there are the rhymes, the medials and finals. Here they're saying rhymes and medials, but yeah, like, you have a character for the onset and a character for the rhyme, and also characters for certain the glides that come right after the first consonant. Um, and that's following a particular analysis that was historically used for Chinese, where you had the initial, medial, and final of a syllable, and it works well for Chinese. It's not necessarily going to be this exactly the same, but this is I bring this up because it's an interesting in between system. It's good to think about writing systems less in that strict classification of alphabet, syllabary, um, abugida, abjad, those thing categories, and more to think about like how did it like evolve and how what ideas did these people or creatures in our case have about language. Um, because you do end up with different things happening. I'm thinking maybe a syllable whore can work. So I'm thinking actually that I want to merge these. You merge these harmonic pairs. But this one, the A2 is going to remain distinct. This is also going to be maximally confusing for humanoid wizards, because they're not going to understand. Um, the question of how I would represent, because it the distinction, the thing about when you have a system, when you have a vowel harmony system, those vowels still are distinct and can still form minimal pairs. It's just that like their functional load is going to be decreased because um, everything's going to agree on this one feature. Yeah. Um, well, the humanoid wizards. So the I it's definitely not a negative if there's some aspects of these rank systems that are confusing to wizards, because then I can justify the wizard dialect that is like weird and not quite right because they misread something. Okay. So that is something I've already like started considering features of like what the wizard dialect. The very first thing I thought was that like if we go back to the phonology, we have the back unrounded vowels. I'm gonna say that like um, many wizards don't bother with that and go ahead and round those, particularly if their language does not have back unrounded vowels, which many human languages won't. So I presume many humanoid languages will not. My stats are going all over the place, like weirdly. Sorry, I'm distracted because I like to know how many people are watching, and it's like just like going like up and down weird ways. I think that it's not entirely accurate what how many people are viewing the thing. But anyway, but like if you could have the writing system in such a way that like they would confuse and 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 then and 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 you could do that. It would also be an excuse for DMs to be relatively lenient with their players who may not be able to pronounce all of these vowel distinctions very well, to say, okay, you said it well enough. Like when I get to writing this up in like a format for people to use in games, I think in the pronunciation guide I will say like, you know, DMs, please do not hold your players to precise pronunciation of all of these things unless they're into that, basically. a note like that because, you know, if it's fun, then if people find it fun, then they can try to pronounce it exactly right. But if it's something that that particular group doesn't find fun, then they can just use it and try to do it as well as they can. But anyway, that's where I'm at. I'm thinking of merging all of the harmonic pairs and maybe have a diacritic in some place that will note which way they go. One thing that is important to note, you could have a diacritic over the whole word to say this is a word that has hard vowels or soft vowels. There's your yeah. Yeah, that's basically the attitude I would say is like, and it's not like there's gonna be that much like game rule content anyway in a write up of Ndăkaga because like there doesn't need to be. Um, I might add a few like some things about how to about like using language in your game or different variations I can think of on how to use the language spells and stuff, but like I haven't DM'd in a very long time. I'm not super confident about like making up my own rules. I'm more into this helpful like world building verisimilitude aid than anything like that. Now, so the question is, how are we going to represent this? Now, we do need to have, so we need 65 characters. And then we need to add, and then we need to either have like a diacritic that silences a vowel, or we need other characters for our consonants that can occur without a vowel. And for that, unless I can find another way to solve that problem, because it's going to be kind of restricted. The 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 thing is, like, the clusters that we have are pretty restricted. We do have coda consonants, and so, and we can put any consonant in a coda. I think that that's something that has been maintained. If we go to our thing, like, so these are our two codas. So okay, fricative, plosive. We don't. We don't actually have any glottal stops in codas. So actually, the way that I structured this is really helpful. Okay, so this does not appear in a coda. Our one glide does not appear in a coda. This S, the glottal stop does not appear in a coda. The R can appear in a coda, though it's No. Can the R appear? R does not appear in codas? Oh. Okay. Wow. Well, that really does some interesting things to us, for us. So only obstruents and nasals can appear in codas. So that significantly reduces the number of yeah. So one thing that I think I mentioned this at the top. So as I listed this, I left off the palatals, and that is a good question because there's a certain thing that I'm going to do with palatals that will that will mean that not none of the consonants are that none of those need to have their own character. Basically, I'm going to say that sort of the consonantal features have been encoded before the rule that turned these into palatals, and they got encoded as basically you have uh, sequences. So what happens is if we go here and oh, I forgot. Oh, that means even more. So I forgot to add. Wait, where's the X? So X, ra, and ya. Um, what happens is you have this combined with one of the others. And then so we need to have, since all of those that got changed here, this is nya, cha, cha, sha. Those all can appear as codas, so they're all going to have some kind of a null, um, vowel form, right? They're going to have to. You're going to have those isolated consonants. Then you can have that isolated consonant character, and you can have s plus ya equals sha. There's something like this that happens in Japanese where you combine like the shi with like a tiny ya or a tiny ya or ye or you in order to get the like the sha, she, whatever you need there. So you can have that sort of thing happen here, and get the palatals represented without having extra characters for them. Um, we could do some um, let's see. Our maximal syllable is like, I think it's CCVCC. Yeah, our maximal syllable is going to be like a CCVCC, right? If you look at the um, the Lexifer definitions, you always have uh, um, one of these onsets. Um, I see what's happened now. Yeah. You always have, like any consonant followed, can be followed, you can have any CV syllable. Um, and these are root shapes. So it's not like, wonder, so I have run into generating two vowels in a row, and I'm not sure exactly where that comes from. But we can we can sort out. So we've got N obstruent R can be an onset. Um, this is like a base syllable that can occur, and then this is these things get together to combine to form syllables. Um, and then I have a bunch of combinations, but we generally have, you can have, okay, let's see. Okay, let's look at that while I look at this, so I can actually sort out what the maximal syllable is. So you can end up with two consonants. Oh, up to three consonants actually. But they have to be, if you have three consonants, you have to have a nasal, a homorganic stop, a homorganic obstruent, and an R. That's the only way that you have that complex of an onset. And then you can have a vowel, and then you can have two consonants that can be either a fricative and a stop, or you can have a nasal and an obstruent. These are your maximal syllables. Um, and of course, you have reductions of that structure, nasal plus obstruent, and like that. Or you have the obstruent with the R, or you can have just like straight up any consonant here, or and any consonant, or we can have CVC or CV, or I think is there any way to get a VC syllable? I think there might be. So yeah, you can get a VC syllable. You can get something that ends up generating a zero. You can have like this generate a zero, and then have just a coda. Yeah. Yeah. But so the thing is, this means that we need nasals need to be able to be on their own. And basically all of the obstruents need to be able to be on their own. But this R, this only occurs before a vowel. And if we go back up here, so like ra and ya, uh, ra and ya do not need to be on their own. Um, and the glottal stop does not need to be on its own. So that is useful. We can eliminate those from like the list. So that means like there's three things that don't need a symbol. So if we go with that and go with sort of an Abhagita-ish formation, then I think that means we need like 75 symbols, plus a few diacritics. So, keeping that in mind, let's start thinking about what we would want for each of these symbols and get that sorted out. Why do I have like random things open? I always have random things open on my computer that I don't know why. So, let's go and let's think about what words we want to use as the basis for these symbols. And we might have to coin some new words, and we might need to do some extra things. So let's go ahead and reduce this. So if we reduce this down to this and delete this row, right. So that leaves us, this is our chart of basic syllables. And then we need null onset for these. And then null vowel. We only need null vowel for this set and this set. So actually, let me we only need null vowels here for all of these. And there might be ways to even cut that down even further by merging some phonemes. Aspiration could be a diacritic. I kind of feel like probably we want to keep it full though. But so straight up, let's look at our stuff here. So we want to keep an eye on our etymologies, because if we're breaking out A1 and A2, that means that we need to look at that was originally a schwa versus that is an So we will keep that out. By the way, this is what my daughter's name means, and I realized that I need to edit it. Droti, but we can do that. There we go. Dorothy. And that fits because we call her Do all the time. So, but Dorothy. That's the closest I can get to Dorothy, and it means bright, shining, well lit. Dorothy. Dorothy. Anyway, we've got that. And so let's start assigning words to these base syllables. So, how do I want to do this? I think I want to make this a new sheet. And, oh, what? Why can't I just copy paste this? I want just the text anyway. There's no circular formulas in what I have. Why is it being weird about copying things? Okay, well, it's working, so that's fine. I do like trills, but it's also one of the things that you know, not everybody can pronounce, so whatever. That's something you can be mindful of if you're designing a language for other people to use. Is like, Like, I intentionally chose that the trill would not be distinguished from any other R sound, even though I have done that in other cases. Another thing that we could do to save ourselves some characters would be to not represent the glottal stop. Um, there is technically a distinction between just two vowels in hiatus and a vowel glottal stop vowel sequence. But it's going to be pretty low functional load, and we might be able to get away without it. Let's consider that as we go. I'm just for now. I will actually add just the bare vowels um, uh, at the end, just to for brainstorming purposes. But we don't necessarily need to have a distinction between the bare vowels and the glottal stop plus a vowel. We could even have an extra diacritic for glottal stop that would suffice. So now comes the part where we figure out what words we have. So we have already done. We have kaga, meaning voice. So if we have kaga, so ka, so that was underlined, that was historically an a already. So it is just kaga. So we would have that with the A1, that would be the word kaga, meaning head. And I've already drawn an illustration of that, right? And then let's look at what other ones I have already started using are. No, kaga means voice. Kaga is voice. Hage. Now, hage. Hage. That was also an a originally. So, and that one, and this should be under the aspirated, actually. Yeah. Hage is also that ah, so you could have that here. and that means head. And we have this stylized thing going on here where basically I like this frill that a lot of the dragons have in the art, so I included that in the symbol for head. Um, okay. And then what else do we have here? Uh, this is not actually going to be one. This is not going to be one. This be beu beu. So that would be for be be or be. So that would go under this hoof, and I'll list it as hoof because the illustration I made is of a hoof, although it has a broader meaning than that, right? So let's start looking at other possible words that we can get into here. So let's see, do we have anything that's me or me? I don't have that yet. So that's one. I'm going to go down the line here and see which ones I already have a word that would be suitable. Nothing there. Mu, mu, or m. Okay. Mo. M or ma. Okay, we got ni or ni. Okay. Ni. This might end up being a great word building exercise since, new. We have. Do we have a? Do we not have anything that's a new? Huh? Okay. We've got no. Nah. Got nothing there. So let's go on to. Oh. Can we have? Yes, we can have. So let's just look quickly and see if do we have anything that starts with the ng. We just have nkre. Nkre. I think it might be better for me to start like looking through the files and see. We've got nkre and nku. So, but okay, here we have the palatal. So we've got ones for the palatal, but we're not going to use that. Let's go look at the B's, because we've got a few B's. So we have a ba, but that is two toward. Not sure if that's something concrete enough. Badaf. Badaf is a contender. I'm not totally sure how to represent like meat as a picture is the only thing. But we can consider and this was originally an A, so it would be under this one. Badaf meat. We probably can find a way to get a picture of that. I just need to think about like what is it? Buff lung. Okay. And this was originally a high central vowel. So this one would be a candidate for there. And that means lung. So here, this is just me doing a little bit of work here. Now, okay, we're down to the D here, so let's go to the D. So we have D, that's a numeral. We're going to do numerals a different way. Do means light. Duh means light. Oh my goodness, my daughter's name may just end up being a part of the rating system. So duh, light. I can see some ways to depict that would make sense. Just like rays coming off of the central line, something like that. Drti, we don't need dra. So de is not going to work. Dabe is thunder. Little bit difficult to depict. And we already have that. We could consider dabe as an alternate to consider whether. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, I'm doing this wrong. No, the original. Okay, yes, the ones that are originally. The ones that are originally. So which way is kaga? How is kaga? Okay, I have that backwards. Hage, this should be here. Because this is the original A. This A2, that's the original A. And then A1 used to be a schwa. And it's the same for kaga. I'm pretty sure kaga was originally an A. Kaga, kagan. Right. The transparent vowels are going to be tricky in another way, in that the affixes actually have strong or weak vowels, and the original strong or weak vowel surfaces when they get affixed to a root that has only the transparent vowel. That's a weird, but it happens. I may have to edit that a little bit. Okay, so we've gone through what we have of the duh, right? Now we can move on to g. We need G's. So, okay, we've got plenty of that. So ga Oh gosh. Ga. So uh, um, serpent. This is like the general category of the major large reptilians, right? So that is yeah. Um, that is going to be a tricky character to make, to figure out what that would have been, but it is useful, and it would be nice to have this get incorporated into the writing system. Um, except, okay, this actually, so this was actually etymologically, yeah, right? So I'm not actually sure that we want to use that one. Uh, so maybe we don't. Maybe we don't. Maybe we don't use that. But that just means that this is I or me. I'm not 100% sure about using either of those. So maybe we'll work on words for that. We can I I can see maybe this having a more concrete meaning in the past so that we could use it. Um, so we could put that in here with a question mark. Okay. Now on to aspirated. So let's go to the P's. Pe meaning or not. Pim. P, so that was originally there. That P is a numeral. Okay. So Pem maybe. So we have a maybe here. And I don't really have a lot of good options otherwise. Now we can go down to the T's. So we got tak. Tak means to hear or to listen. Tagid means ear. Teat. Teat means to dry. Teat is potentially useful. So you can think of teat. And then if we go to the K's, so I already did put Kaga in there. Cot. Ooh, okay, cot. For when or sometime. Okay. Ha just means ought. But if we work out what the etymology of this was, what this word originally mean, I think we can use it. So we have cot, and that is ideal for the A1 there. So we want to be thinking about And this is something in Kanlai. There is always at every step an opportunity to flesh things out further. See, I just went here and I went, okay, this when or sometime, cut, okay, this is a perfect thing to make a character of, but it's like an abstract concept. But if I go back into the proto-reptilian root, then I can have an idea of like, okay, yes, but what did it mean then? What did it mean time? Did it mean hour? Did it mean point in the day? I don't know that yet, and I need to figure it out. So that is where we start getting into like that. But if I can figure that out, then I can go, oh, then 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 I can possibly get a concrete picture drawn that can then be turned into what I need. Uh, F. We need to look at F's, and I think we have a number of F words. Um, we have a lot of things start with E. Okay, fata. So that's out. That's out too. Okay, so the ones that start with F, just start straight up with F, don't work for me. Maybe we can make some more, but I noticed scrolling through here that we've got a lot of these words that actually have F as a second syllable, and soft and crawl. That could work. So we can bend rules a little bit. I think afi works very well. I'm going to put afi in here. Crawl. And what is it? Is it crawl, scurry, or slither? So depending on which one of those I think is like the older or the base meaning, we have some options for how I could draw that. Um, uh, I'm not sure about that. The soft one. I think I'll leave that alone. And then we'll go ahead and go and make some more F words later. We're just getting like some of these filled in so that we can get started. And then over the next few weeks we'll be refining it, and I will draw my pictures off screen. Maybe I'll do some of the abstraction on screen, but like I don't have a Wacom tablet or anything, so I can't just like start drawing on the computer. Um, let's see what we've got for S's. I'm going to go through all of these, and then I'm going to end the stream. But let's see. Do we have stuff that starts with S? Q, R, S. We have stuff that starts with sh. That doesn't help me. So I need some more S words. So we're going to be doing a lot of word generation soon. And we're going to do David and Jesse style word generation because my random stuff is not going to do anything, right? Unless I just like run it until I get the things that I need. We can do that way. Um, yeah. So let's look at the R's. We've had a couple. We had full. Riti, riti. That's our only R word. It it's a little difficult to depict, but it's possible. So and then we don't actually okay, no, yes. We only have ye and yeja. Yej and yeja. Yeja. Those are not going to be. Every letter is named after a tree. Wow. That's interesting. I'm not gonna be that systematic about things. So, but that's interesting. I don't actually have any words with initial glottal stop. So that actually may be another reason to say let's not distinguish between glottal stops and initial and null initial syllables. Um, but I have tons of words that just start with vowels for I don't know what reason. So let's just go through all the vowels and select words and get and look at words. So we've got ef to smell, eus limb, arm, leg. That's a possibility. Ichi to see or watch. Ide is just like an item, object, or thing, or a word. I don't know what that meant originally. That could mean something specific originally that would be useful. Ide, skin or hide. If, the, ifa, wind. Ika, um, tooth. Ika. Okay, so here we've got I think we've got three that are useful. So why don't I just actually um, I haven't done any polls at all today, and we're getting down to the end. So to reward the few of you that are here hanging with me to the end, I am going to make a poll over um, which one of these are is going to be the base of the free I word. Okay, so maybe. I don't know. I'm not. I wasn't aiming for flowy. I wasn't aiming for anything. I was just picking out words that seem to work. Let's do this. So, what is the word that gave rise to the character for E slash E E and I. So we've got the options we're going to go with. I'm going to give you are ius, meaning limb, arm, leg, and then ide, meaning skin or hide, and then add an option ifa, meaning wind. Ifa, wind. some of these I might be able to use for some other things, using our principle that it doesn't have to be the first sound in the word. Or ega tooth. Ega tooth. And while that's being selected, oh, I had some other options that would be cool. Oh, I should have had EG in there. That would have been great, but that's fine. We have so many I words. Um, so let's while that poll is going, I'm gonna look at the ones that start with an E, the A ones. Ugh. Ugh is metal, huh? Ugh. Ebi. Edi ehe. Egin. Egre. Egre. Eke. Impa. Impa. Inya. No, I can't do that. Ink. Ing. Inkad. Ip. Ipin. I think Egre Talon. Is what I will do for that one. Okay. We there is one more person who can vote. So I'm going to go look at the U's now. Ucha. No. Ida. Ishi. Ishi. Ikesh. Ikesh. Uki. Uki. Icha. Ungru. Feels like Ungru was like at some point derived or something. Okay. We got what? How many votes? Okay. So it looks like tooth. Ika tooth won that one. And then I think I'm just going to go with Icha. It's going to be so swim or bathe. I think I can do something with that. If we look at apa, so apa, abu, ataf, ade. There's quite a lot here. Okay, but that's okay. Amba. What does ache mean? No. Ak. Yeah. Yeah, tooth and wind are both pretty useful for dragons. I think I'm going to have to think a little bit more on which A word I'm going to use, especially since some of these I might pull for some other things. So I'm going to spend some time working on this and also spend some time doing initial drawings and start getting things situated for that. And then next time, um, I'll have some of that worked out for you, and we will probably begin with choosing some characters and getting some character designs down, um, in order to like get it all sorted. And yeah, that's it for today. I think I need to add a column with the romanization so I don't get super confused looking at the IPA. But otherwise, yeah. Uh, I think that's about time for me to go. And then I will mention starting next week, I'm going to have a hard out at 5 o'clock. So, well, not necessarily. It's kind of soft, but it's definitely going to be a hard out by like 5:15 because I need to make sure that I can go and pick up my daughter. So I probably will aim to end the streams at 5 from here on out. I did decide to go a little bit longer today because I felt it would be useful. But with that, thank you guys for watching, and anybody watching the stream later, thank you for watching, and happy conlanging. We'll probably be doing a little bit of be seeing a few drawings later. Oh, 5 Central Time. So that means that the stream will be an hour and a half. Okay. All right. And okay. And again, happy conlanging.